This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Saturday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength, Saturday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner, by knockout, is Saturday. Saturday, bring it on.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of
Fisting.
I was doing Wakanda.
Friday.
I really hated whatever the fuck that was. That was wild.
Wildly entertaining, you mean?
That is exactly what I meant.
Uh-huh.
I'm so horny for it. I love it. So good. So great. Yes. Well, welcome to Fisting Friday, where we
get fisted.
And fist, yeah. It's a reciprocal fist. It's
you
get a fist. You get a fist.
Mutual fisting.
Everybody gets a fist.
Mutual fisting opportunities.
Yeah. That's
mutual fisting fun.
I was just about to say. You ever heard those finance advisors talk about mutual funds?
Mm-hmm.
They say, you want something reliable, you want something safe. They mean a mutual fist.
Yeah.
Scratch my back. I scratch yours.
I'll scratch your lower back.
Anyways. Are you drinking coffee?
It's not mushroom coffee, so it's not
okay.
like real coffee. And I had this vision because this weekend I was making cinnamon rolls.
They
were so good. And I gave them out. I gave some to Coco. She came over, got some.
Love.
Took some to Avia. Gave some to Hannah, who was on the other podcast that the food podcast that I did. Don't know when it's coming back. She was in the neighborhood because she was babysitting somebody across down the street. So like, I gave them out because I was making them. I was doing some experimenting. People were asking for the recipe. No, you can't have it. Like, these are my created recipes that came from my brain. If you would like a recipe, you can look online for them. Sorry.
She's gatekeeping. Let her gatekeep.
I am. I made some hot chocolate ones. And because I'm thinking about selling my baked goods. And with cottage rules, you can't have cream in the frosting. Mm-hmm. So I was experimenting with making, like, I got the one for the regular cinnamon rolls down. Perfect. Yeah. Tastes good. But for the hot chocolate ones, because I wanted to do a marshmallow cream, which you can do, but I had to use dried eggs.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you could probably use...
You can use the
marshmallow fluff.
Yes, but I was trying to do it from scratch. So that's essentially what I did is I made fluff from scratch, but I was using dried eggs because you can't use raw eggs either. Mm-hmm. So this morning, because I still had some fluff left in like over in the jar. So I was like, let me put this coffee in there and shake it up. But you can't really taste it.
Oh.
But also, again, this is a mushroom coffee. And doesn't have a lot of actual caffeine in it. It's meant for focus. I think it actually does a great job, and I've been enjoying it.
Melissa starts buzzing if she has real caffeine.
Yes,
her body starts to take flight. It's like it's not a good experience.
No. I'm so sensitive to so many things. So so that's what I did. I shook up this into the fluff, but you can't really taste it. So, but it's fine.
I mean, you have the thought of it, the essence of it. Damn, what a productive weekend you had.
I had a weekend.
What? Wait.
You forgot what happened to me this weekend.
Oh my God.
A fucking crime. I not going to talk about it.
Like, I was traumatized, and I wasn't even there.
Yes. I witnessed a crime. I don't know, why there were so many people that just walked by and did nothing. I was like, where is John Quinones? Is that the man's name?
I always get it mixed up with Don Quixote, which is the play.
Yes.
But I do think yours is correct.
Where is he? Because so many people were walking by. I was literally driving by and saw something. And I said, I don't think that was right. So I made a quick loop, came back around, parked right where they saw me. And then I asked the person, one of the people, if they were okay. They just kind of like waved me off and didn't really do anything. So then I got license plate and then kind of went and hid in the cut while I was watching what transpired. So many people, like, this was a major street.
Yeah, Mott was asking where it was, and he was like, wait, because I had told him about it because we were in like Bonobos when you texted me, and I was like, holy shit. And I told him about that, and he was like, and then he brought it up again that night, and he was like, so was that yesterday? And I was like, no, that happened when I told you. And he was like, wait, where was she? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, this happened in broad daylight in the middle of the day. And I was like, yes, that is why it's so fucking freaky.
Yes. So many people drove by. So then I was waiting to see, because I couldn't tell, like at first I couldn't tell if they were playing or not, but then one of the person that was being attacked definitely was not playing and was trying to get away. So then I called the cops, and I had to call it in because locations were moved.
Yeah, and then they had to tell Melissa, you stop following them. And Mott's literally, when I told him, he goes, God, you guys are so similar. And I was like, yeah, I would have done exactly the same thing.
Yes, I got pictures, I got video, I had a full description, I could hear the cops coming as they were leaving. So I told them what direction they were headed in. A helicopter appeared, so I know that whatever happened, but I just don't have any follow up to it.
It is wild when like you're in the the bystander of like you're so close to it that whatever. And like we had something similar months, you know the whole story, but like last year or something here, and I remember just like checking, like being like, what's the resolution, like, you know, we were given instructions of what to do, and like this affected my day, like this completely derailed my entire day, and then like we don't get to at least CC me on an email, but like what the fuck happened. But like for that we waited I think it was like 4 months or 3 months, and then in the news figured it out. But yeah, that's just like so fucking crazy.
Yeah. The whole thing was I was like, you know, I need to stop using my GPS when I'm driving. Let me not use my GPS. So I didn't use my GPS, and I turned down a street before where I usually turn down. And so I feel like I was put there for a reason.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, like, it doesn't deter me because I'm like, I got to do something. Like,
yeah, the universe gave you a job.
I was the only person that did something.
It is crazy, this like mentality of like people think like, well, someone else will do something. Like, I don't know if I just have like such extreme main character syndrome that I'm like, I have to assume I'm the only, if I don't do it, like, or even like in a bad, like, I forgot that, like the negative thought spirals where I'm like, okay, well, if I don't do it, then am I saying, then what if I don't do it, that means no one's going to do it because of what I did, which is like not realistic, but like this idea that like, you know, someone else will figure it out. But I remember Mats and I were driving back from his brother's house a month or so ago, and there was it was right before, I think it was before the fires, and there was a like side of the highway, there was just like a brush fire on the exit. And I remember I was like, just like picked up Matz's phone and like disconnected from the car and started calling. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, calling 911. And he was like, well, it's a pretty big fire. And I was like, okay, I can't assume that someone hasn't already called. Like, because
the thing is, everybody could be thinking the same thing.
Yeah. And like, I just think that like, there's going to be someone who sees it, who's got like 3 kids in the back seat, or who doesn't have like a hand. There's no one else in the car. And I was like, there's nothing stopping me from calling this in except for the fact that I'm just like assuming someone else already has. But then that's me assuming that there's all these other people in my exact position who have a second person in the car and who can like talk, like all of that stuff. And it's just like, yeah, it is like very disheartening. And I see that with like when like things happen in subways and like all of this kind of stuff, that like people are so soul one track mind individual focused that like, I don't know. I do also blame, like, as someone who like grew up going to the city, like going to like San Francisco and going to like Oakland and all of that kind of stuff, like I think there's a lot of people who move to places with like larger unhoused populations, and so they are like, oh, the thing to do is just like ignore the existence of every other person in the city or where I am, and like that's how you stay safe, is by like completely ignoring your surroundings. And I'm like, that's the exact opposite. It's about not engaging in things that are not safe for you or for other people, not riling things up, not trying whatever that. But it's like you act on for the community good. So, but that's so fucking scary.
Yeah, it was. How do we transition out of that?
Well,
I can talk about that weird message I got on TikTok.
Shut up, please.
It all happened.
No, you had a very eventful weekend.
I had an eventful weekend. So, I got this message from someone. I'm on TikTok a lot, and I am constantly leaving comments, and my actual name is in it. So, like, people are seeing what I'm doing, and so I got a message from someone, and it said, "Hi there. I just wanted to reach out based on your last name. My name is blank Mont, and the name is not common at all," which I know. It's a French name. I know how, like, my ancestor, it's very much, if you've seen Woman King, it's very much how someone from a Western country within Africa went to be educated in France. Like the person that was not Viola Davis, but her, I'm not going to spoil it, but love interest was like sent to France. So in the same way, like he was sent there, got very educated, and then from France was sent to the United States to educate enslaved people when they were free. So I know how my exact trajectory from that. And so I was like, I know it's not common, especially even though like a lot of people with this last name are Black here in the US. So I was like, okay, they're mostly either in Arkansas or in South Carolina. That part, I don't know how that happened.
Are they all like, is it the vast majority ones distantly related?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was like, okay, we probably are related. So let me have this conversation. But then I saw her username, which expressed her love for R. Kelly.
Crazy.
And I said, maybe, and I immediately sent it to my sisters. And Melanie was like, maybe her man's name is like Richard or something.
Oh, that's not, like, I was not giving benefit of the doubt at all.
And I wasn't either. And my sister Meghan, not this Meghan, my sister Meghan was like, anything that has to do with that man, why would you want to have any type of association, regardless if their name is Richard or not?
Yeah. Why would you want the only thing for me to know about you is your profile picture and the fact that you have an affinity for R. Kelly or something so close that it is misconstruing your deep affinity for R. Kelly.
Exactly. And that's where I was too.
Like, that's your personal log line. It's so crazy.
I responded, "Cuz, what's up with your username?" And then she responded, LOL, longtime fan of the musician. I'm out. I'm already out.
Confirmed. Okay, and this is why I personally wasn't given the benefit of the doubt.
And they say, my username is older than his allegations. And I'm thinking TikTok has not been around that long. His allegations definitely outlive TikTok.
But I think this probably means that this is her username on AIM, yes. MSN, her email, everything.
Yes. So then at this point, I've sent it to you. I've sent it to Avia. You haven't responded yet because you were out. Avia is like, maybe she has a big following and she didn't want to change her name. Again, giving the benefit. I said,
I should have responded earlier. Quickly, I've been like, yeah, no.
No. And that's what I was like. I was like, if she has a large following, they would have already said, bitch, change your username.
Or her following are also big R. Kelly fans.
Yes.
Like, that's just like, what?
And so, and then I was like, this girl has like 14 followers and her account is private. She does not have. And Avia's like, okay, I'm out. So like everybody's trying to do all these benefit of the doubts. And then I said, he's been convicted now. It's not just allegations. Time to change your name. And then I said, because I'm just trying to figure out who is this broad. And then I said, where's your family from? And then she responds to me, I was trying to establish a family connection due to the last name, not discuss my username. His convictions or allegations have nothing to do with my personal choice in music. In my world, only God can judge. So I'm going to keep my name and keep blasting his music. Thanks, though. And then the kissy face emoji. And then she blocked me. So thank you for exposing yourself for who you are. You told me everything I need to know about you, and I want nothing to do with you. Thank you so much.
You avoided adding a problematic cousin.
Yes.
Why would I seek out that stereotype? No. Like, you told me who you are, and like, yeah, we're full. We're actually not looking for that.
I mean, like, I literally have my father is one of 9. His mother, well, that's the Long side. It's not the Mont side, last name Long. His mother is also one of 9. Like,
you guys
have so much family.
You're busted at the fucking seams. It's not going to make an exception for an R. Kelly lover.
I don't need you here.
No, but I also am like, hey girl, maybe your affinity for R. Kelly is why you're sleuthing on TikTok to find family to connect with. This is maybe if we notice that this is actually a hindrance in fostering those connections, let's connect those dots. Right. But I love that. She's looking for a family, and you said, no, I'm actually not looking for family like that.
No.
I'd be happy. Let's figure out if this is a misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. But no, okay. Yeah, no, this is not the kind of family I'm looking for.
No, thank you.
Because in this case, you can't pick your family.
Right. I don't know you. This changes nothing about my life.
No. And like, imagine like you find like a long lost family member and you're like, amazing. And then you find out they're like, I think he's innocent. I'd be like, oh my God.
And I said, let me nip this in the bud off the bat.
I assume you actually wanted me to talk to you about it because it's the only thing I can fucking see on your private profile besides your picture.
Right.
You want to associate that with you so intrinsically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've got to assume this is deeply important to you. This is your cause of choice. Wild. Insane. Well, I hope she doesn't. That's not the who's the side that which is the side, because your dad has figured out all this, like anytime there's Stacey Abrams, he found out that, right?
Yes, he has a connection to her.
And that's not, because I was thinking, I was like, she's going to get shut down based on like all of the people your dad is like, we figured out he's related to.
I mean, we're not related to Stacey. He just had a one person away.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But yes, that would be of course, my dad's side of the family is my last name.
Yeah, because I realized that. I have 2 last names technically, so I do forget that's part of it.
Yeah.
But that is like, yeah. I've had like someone reach out. The Rinks last name that I use, my dad's last name is the fucking Johnson of the Irish. Like it is so spread out. But the rinks, I've had people message me, like every single one I'm related to.
Yep.
To the point where like I open it, I go, we look alike. And and I've only had like maybe one or two, but it is just that one little, and I'm like,
And then I also said to Avi, I was like, watch her change her username to I love Chris Brown.
It is a pipeline. My weekend was not nearly as exciting as yours. I did leave the house, which is my favorite activity on the weekend. Like I love just going places. Mm-hmm. Like I love doing things like that. We went to Century City Mall, just walked around, had great fun. We went to Bonobos. Shout out to the two men who are working at Bonobos because you infinitely made the brand so much cooler. Usually who's working there are, full offense, like white guys in polo shirts. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not doing much for me. We had two gorgeous black men, one of them wearing a little like, hats have so many names. It's giving,
Jason
musical.
Mraz?
No, it's giving like I'm in a musical, a period musical.
Oh, like a top hat?
No.
Or bolero?
No, I don't know. But it's
I think that's what it's called.
It kind of looks like old golf hats too.
Bolero.
A bolero is a little cardigan or a necklace.
No, there's a bolero hat.
Why are there three things of a bolero that you can wear? That is too fucking confusing. Maybe that's it. But it was like one of those old golf hats and like a pearl necklace and like a knit like polo shirt, like with like a belt like tucked in. And the other guy was wearing like just like layers of things to the point where I was like, you saw this shit here? Like they like fully styled it. Like it felt like those TikToks, those videos of being like the difference between wearing and styling. Mm-hmm. And literally, I guess we're getting ready to leave. I was like, you guys, my fiance should be so happy because I usually complain about coming in here. I go, the clothes are so boring. And I was like, suddenly now I'm seeing these visions. I was like, you are so good. Like, I was just like going on and on because they'd asked us before, like, what our plans for the day were. Like, we're going to a movie. And as we're leaving, they're like, you know what? I really hope you enjoy that movie. And I was like, thank you. I will. And I'm coming back. Like, they for like, very rarely do I notice in like men's shopping experience that like the people who work there, usually in these things, they either want to hire like girls who'll be like, mm-hmm. oh my gosh, like that's when this looks so good on you.
Yep. That's when I used to work in retail. That was my job.
Yeah.
That's like, why I would hide in the dressing room.
It's either that or it's like, just like white dudes who are like straight presenting white dudes who are wearing the most bland outfits and like, sup, dude? Yeah, I'm not going to bother you because, you know, no homo. It's like so fucking weird. And like, I'm like, no, we actually have people with fashion sense, style, taking these clothes with their own personal things. And I was like, holy shit, I'm obsessed with you. And they were just like lovely, like just lovely and just dressed so nicely. So shout out to Bonobos in Century City. Should have gotten their names. But they were lovely. And we did end up not going to a movie there. Because,
what movie are you going to?
Well, we did go to a movie, but I'll tell you. We were planning to go to in Century City, and we were like, perfect. We'll like go shopping. We'll walk around. It'll be fun. Unfortunately, I did forget that movie theater is so fucking popular. And we have found some like...
That's where people go when they want to be seen.
Yeah. We found some like deep fucking cut movie theaters we've been going to recently that are like in towns I've never heard of. They are completely empty parking lots. We're usually one of three people, full recline seats. So nice. Always tickets, empty. And so we've gotten really comfortable and used to that. And so we were like, ooh, yeah, let's not go here anymore. It was the same day as the base pop-up, which got some like controversy online. We then came home, made dinner, and we went to one of our deep cut movie theaters, which we arrived in 5 minutes late. Hadn't even started the previews yet. It was still empty. It was perfect. And we saw the new Captain America, and I loved it.
That's what I keep hearing. I haven't seen it yet, but everybody that actually went to see it and not reading reviews online was like, this movie is actually really good.
It was great. I did have to remind myself that like the character of Falcon to now Captain America, he is not Anthony Mackie's comedic relief.
I'm doing my impression.
Yeah, but like the role in itself is not comedic relief. Like he's not like he ha ha kind of a thing. And he does have that with certain characters, and so like it did take a minute, and like we're introduced to them quite quickly. But like, so I think I was like, were you guys looking for like the Anthony Mackie show? Because I'm like, I love that as well, but like that's also, he is acting, like it's not like that role. They introduced a new character who is he's what I would define as IE hot, which is hot, but like it's a specific type of like, it's like a specific type of hot that I'm like, oh, you're gonna break my heart. But he was like very gorgeous. What's his name?
The co-lead,
Danny Ramirez. Well, he's from Chicago and he went to Tisch, but anyone from the IE, look at this man and tell me he is not the definition of IE hot.
When I don't know what IE hot it means because I don't venture out there, but when I saw the preview, you know, I don't look at trailers, but this was a preview. It wasn't even a trailer. It was just him and Anthony Mackie like in front of a movie, just sitting and talking. And when when he popped up on screen, I go, ooh.
Ooh, yes.
And then Avia looked at me and was like, Anthony Mackie? I said, you know good damn well I'm not talking about Anthony Mackie.
Love that man
Anthony Mackie
to death.
Yes, I love him. He is
very
so
pretty
funny,
man.
very charismatic. He is pretty, but he's not making me go,
No, and unless only an IE man can make you do like, there is like it's such a fucking specific thing that like I wish I could pull up some of the guys. Like it's just like there's just a type of like a hot IE guy, and you're like, whew, you're gonna fuck up my life, and I'm gonna love it like
so much. Even the way he talks,
yes, no, and he exudes that in this movie, and like they have a great and I thought it was like a perfect casting, and obviously like they're based on fucking comics, and I'm not gonna get on here and be like, oh, I know all the I don't know all the comics shit. So like if I'm gonna
changed a lot too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like I can't for sure say that like, oh, this was an active like adaptation choice, or this was like how it was written. But I thought it was really great to have someone who we're introduced to this character like immediately, and they have perfect banter. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like this, it really highlights that part of...
He's been in other movies though, of Marvel movies. So they've worked together before. The character has existed before. In the Marvel universe.
As what?
His character.
No, I know, but I'm trying not to spoil anything for you. What was he doing? What was he wearing?
It wasn't the movies, but he was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I've been thinking I need to rewatch that.
And he was in 5 episodes, so he was around.
But you know my issue with that. What's his name again?
The actor?
Yeah. Which is why I can't remember anything except my hatred for this. Which he is, in fact, in the Home, whatever, the other Marvel movie that's coming out. Which I'm just going to have to deal with. But, like, my God, Marvel has never written a more annoying character. Like, I don't remember anything from... I think I watched all of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I might have dipped out because he just pissed me off so fucking much. That makes sense that he'd be in that. But
yeah, it was really good. And so I would say that like the only like criticism, I think valid criticism there is I did not like the first fight sequence. To me, it's when you watch the whole movie, you're like, okay, well, it builds up. Like it, like, you know, it kind of sets your expectations low, and then it like blows it out of the way. Like the rest of the fight sequences are amazing. It was just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we should have shot somewhere else. Like it's just like, there's not many places for the camera to go. There's only so many angles, and you're having to kind of like save the weird, boring, like setting background. Cause this would be in a church, but it's clearly obviously not like okay, sorry, it might not be a church, wherever the priests are. What is that? That's a church.
Okay. And so like it's just like it's like just dimly lit and just like kind of dark, and so yeah, it's not like the greatest initial scene or whatever, but like that sets the story of him being like, I don't know if I'm ready for you know what I mean, like it's like it serves a purpose. Do I wish it looked a little bit like it was a more interesting setting? Sure, but like they fucking make up for that tenfold, so like it does feel intentional. But I didn't watch any. I feel like you. I don't ever really watch any Marvel trailers because I'm like, I don't need to. I'm seeing it. Like, I don't care. I'm there. I'm in. So imagine my shock and awe, surprise, my out loud gasp because I fully forgot that my man was in this movie. And I said, Giancarlo, what are you doing here? And I was like obsessed.
I didn't know Giancarlo was in it.
Yes, Melissa.
I haven't seen any trailer at all.
I do think I sent it to you because I do still have Google Alerts on for my man. Okay. And I think we saw that.
Oh, yes,
when that happened.
We did talk about that.
Never saw the trailer. So like I fully forgot about it. And he was like so good in it. And like it was one of those Marvel movies, which I think is like the best quality where it feels like you keep thinking it's going to end. And then like something else. And then you go, wait, that loose end isn't tied up. And then something else happens with that. Like they do a really good job, I think, with like the pacing of that. And it was fantastic villains, fantastic. The setting of like the big fucking fight scene and that whole fight scene in general was phenomenal. I think these are some of the, like, I enjoy a good villain. And I think these are all, like, there's 3 villains in it, which I'm like, I love that. And like, it compiles on each other. Everything's like connected in this way. And like, you know me, I love a villain where you go, kind of see their point. Like, don't love the means, but like kind of see their point. And so I really like that part. The only thing I would say is kind of crazy is, and I'm used to this because I'm a Marvel movie fan, they will like reference things in like, you're always wondering where it fits in the timeline. And until you see the movie, you can't totally know. But there were times where they were referencing things and I go, has this happened? Like, should I know what they're talking about? Like, did I miss this? Was this like a blip in a moment? They quite literally are referencing the Christopher Nolan Hulk in some of these. And I go, hold up. No, not Christopher Nolan. Edward Norton.
Yes.
I don't know why that's the same name to me.
And they're not even the same field.
Nope. No, because I said hell. I go, no, I'm talking about the actor, Meghan. That's not who. Yeah. They're referencing that Hulk because I was like, what? Like, what? Like, and that was like a little like, but it wasn't even, it wasn't like necessarily, because I watched the whole movie thinking that this was just referencing things we haven't seen yet, like in the past. But it was like, oh no, that was in this other movie. It doesn't take away from it, whatever. But it was just like, I don't know. I thought it was really good. I thought it was like, and it was really phenomenally well cast. And Anthony Mackie is a producer on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that for him.
Me too, because the last, I think when I was looking at it, so obviously Robert Downey Jr. has produced the Iron Mans, and that's how he got like a relatively low payday for it to then get the back end, and then it blew up, and that was like a huge resurgence of his career and a resurgence of Marvel. And then Thor produced the last, Chris Hemsworth produced the last Thor,
which
was
as if he was the actor.
Objectively was not very good, like really not very good. And then Scarlett Johansson,
and he has also said, "What was I doing?"
No, it was it was the only reason that he was like, "I don't want to do this anymore," and he keeps trying to get out of it. And he said, "I don't want to do this anymore. I want to cut my hair." They said, "We'll let you cut your hair," and he's like, "Okay," cuts his hair. And then he goes, "Okay, I'm done doing this." They said, "No, will you produce?" He said, "Okay, fine." And I'm like, let this man be done. Like, he is done. Let him be done. And then Scarlett Johansson produced The Black Widow, which I think is one of the most underrated of them. But I was like so happy to see that I don't know, it feels like extenuating circumstances for them, like letting other people produce, and like it's kind of like the tail end or like as a last ditch or whatever. But I was like, you're asking him to stay in the Marvel universe after all the people he's been doing this with have like left. Like that's a lot to like ask of someone to do, especially because like it's a huge fucking time commitment in all of this. And you're asking him to like, mostly do it with like new actors and like all this kind of stuff and like not graduate from this. And so I thought it was like great. And like the soundtrack was really good. And I really, really liked it. So I would recommend everybody to go see it. It's really good. And like, it just pisses me off. I was talking to Moss about this. I was like, how can people say that like this wasn't good, but they will like eat up quite literally anything Doctor Strange, which I go, okay. Like, I don't like the man. Like, if Wong is not in there, I'm like yawn. Like, it's just like, or even the original. You know me and the original Captain America. I go, canon, it's a man with zero fucking personality, and you're lapping it up. He's a virgin with no personality. And then he finally gets it.
Yeah.
In the ACAT one. Yeah.
He gets laid and he gets he learns. He learns. Oh, you brought up Giancarlo, and I just saw a clip of, I've seen Living Single a million times. And I'm familiar with this clip, but then it came across my TikTok like yesterday, and I was like, this man looks so good. I just sent it to you in your messages.
I'm addicted to that man. I wonder if he knows that he has got like two like die like, and Mott's like also, oh my god, no, he's so pretty.
He's so good looking.
Who's she?
That is Erica Alexander.
I recognize her.
Yeah, she's one of the main actresses in the show, but also she. You saw American Fiction, right?
Nope.
No.
Oh, what do I recognize her from?
She's one of the best actresses that have ever graced any screen. And more people need to know about her. She's very Black famous, but you white people.
No, we're sleeping on a lot.
Yeah.
I did see a TikTok about that when it was like Black famous actors, and it was all these white people being like, who the hell is Morris Chestnut? And I said, that's crazy. Because to me, I go, that's a full crossover.
Yeah.
That's a full fucking crossover.
Have you watched this show yet?
Who show?
Morris Chestnut's on CBS. Watson. It's right up your alley.
I know.
It's literally right up your alley, except for he's like Watson from like Sherlock Holmes Watson. And if you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes, then you will get more things. Understand? Like there's things that I have to look up because I'm like, I'm supposed to know this, but I don't know who this is. And I didn't know that going into it, but it's also written by people that wrote that last Sherlock Holmes show that was on CBS, but the shows aren't connected at all. And I'm just like, y'all are just
addicted to Sherlock Holmes.
Big Sherlock Holmes nerds.
They're big Holmes homies. Like, okay, love that for you.
Yeah.
So we also started watching, shout out on the live stream on our Patreon. Join that if you want to hang out with us. People suggesting, when I was recommending Paradise, being like, oh, that sounds similar to Alex Cross, like the new Cross show. You would like, do you watch that? And I didn't know, and so I was like, oh, I'll watch it. It sounds right up my alley. Again, I love a show with a hottie. Like, put hot people on camera again. But like,
so beautiful.
He's stunning, and so it literally opens with like him leaning in a doorway, and I was like, pause, and Moss was like, what? I was like, I'm looking up, directed by a woman. He goes, what do you mean? No one said anything. I go, he's leaning in a doorway. This is directed by a woman. And then I looked and it was. And then from the rest of the episode, you could just tell. Like, I was just like, yeah, totally tell.
This is for the female games.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And he's also not the only hottie in it. That show is busted at the seams with hotties. Just gorgeous people. Just gorgeous people. It is really fucking intense. Like, I thought it was going to be like a procedural. Like, I thought it was going to be like a new crime thing every day. No, we actually have, this isn't even a spoiler because it's literally the premise of this fucking first season. There is a serial killer who is targeting people who look like other serial killers. And like, it's really creepy. And the goddamn second I saw Tom from Blacklist there and he bleached his hair and I said, uh-oh. Tom's about to out crazy the great, like, because he always plays like the guy that you go, girl, don't. He always plays the guy that like the girl's flirting with. You go, don't do it. He's got no good intentions. Except this time he's bleached his hair,
and that makes it even worse.
Oh no, he is unhinged. So, yeah, and it's like he like has like a foundation for like at-risk youth or whatever, and he's essentially like just recruiting people to kill. Like, and I'm like,
yikes,
what the fuck?
Yeah, but yeah, you didn't know that it was based on a series that has 2 million books.
No, and I also didn't know that they had already made one before with...
They've made several. It's not just this
Well,
Tyler
the one
Perry
that both
one.
you and Mott's kept referencing.
Because that was the most recent one. The one where Tyler Perry didn't write it, didn't direct it, didn't produce it. He is the man. Like,
and I do for
Alex Cross. And
for science, I do
cast.
kind of need to see what his take on this role was, because the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just like squinting, trying to picture, and I was like, I don't really see it.
Yeah.
The first interrogation scene is like phenomenal. This guy is like, he's so good. And he's like interrogating this guy who, like, you know, very clearly is not good in the sense of, like, I mean, he's very clearly guilty for what they've accused him of, which I think is like killing his wife. But he's also just a raging bigot, racist, Nazi. And he's like, you know, diving into the eugenic stereotypes and like all of that kind of shit. And then the way they shoot it, of like the Alex Cross character, just like he like he has like this whole thing about, he's like, you want to talk about stereotypes, like talking about white men with tiny dicks, and the whole shot is like this guy's face next to his crotch as he's standing there with his hands on his hips.
Okay.
And I was just like, and like he's like laughing in this like very like just like try me kind of. It was just like, and it was just so well done. And in that moment, I'm going, did Tyler Perry also do this part, or is this a like what interpretation? If there's so many books, I do wonder if they pick up at different spots.
So the other ones were actually Morgan Freeman, and it was Kiss the Girls, which I've heard of, but I was a child, so I wasn't watching that. And then also Along Came a Spider.
That's what they're called.
Yeah.
So they're just like adaptations of like singular, probably the books. Tony Goldwyn's in the Kiss the Girl. Morgan Freeman, Ashley Judd, Tony Goldwyn.
Of course, Ashley Judd. She was in all those type of movies back then.
Yeah. Oh, Liv Tyler was in the Captain America movie, and I was like, is that Liv Tyler? And I was like, okay. I was like, and then at that moment I go, they have to be referencing something I haven't seen, because I have no idea why she's here.
Yeah, I remember it being like a huge thing. I was just a kid, so why would I want to see this? Like, it's saying the budget was 27 million. Imagine making a movie for this big of a movie for 27 million, and the box office was 60.5 million. So like, they did well. Wow. It's got a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that is my sweet that is your sweet spot.
I love that. Yeah, I want to keep watching it. But even Mods was like, I need to like pace myself. And this show it's shot like, I would call it even more prestige than prestige television. Like, it's shot like a movie. It's like really beautiful and cinematic, but like in a way that like how it's shot is supposed to make you feel things. And in a serial killer show, the things you're feeling, it's fucking heavy. Like, and it's really, it's like, yeah, it's sad and dark, and like, you know, it starts like his wife has just been killed. Like, there's just like a lot of sad stuff, but the acting is like phenomenal. And he's also really funny. Like, he's got like, there's like a good sense of like, he brings a good sense of levity to it. But instead, right now we are doing a rewatch of the Marvel movies, and we started with the,
of course,
Captain America ACAB one. And I'm like, yeah, I like this one. I do like this one, and I did think I wanted to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier again, but I did forget that guy's in it. Fuck.
I did watch the first episode of Not What You Want.
Fuck, Melissa! No, the way I have been counting down the days until you watch Paradise.
Yeah, I haven't watched Paradise yet.
If you tell me you watched fucking Running Point.
I did.
Melissa.
I watched the first episode of Running Point. Megan, I'm deep into like a writing, like a show about murder.
I understand.
Like, I can't.
No, I know you can't fuck with it. I understand.
I can't fuck with it. Like, I have to wait till I'm done. I will be done in like 2 weeks. So like, I can't be within that right now. But I did watch the first episode of Running Point. I didn't know it was a Mindy Kaling show. I would have.
Oh.
been on real faster than I was.
Oh, I should have told you that.
Yes.
I literally almost made a joke. I'm like, you need the Mindy Kaling candy.
I love Mindy. Controversial take. I love everything that she's written. I enjoy it all. I eat it all up. And I was mad that Sex Lives of College Girls got canceled. She has a lot of shows on Netflix. I'm sure it's just going to move over.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I also was wondering why Jeannie Buss was like, why I was seeing her everywhere. But now it makes sense because they literally are the Lakers. And I was like, what is this?
I had to look up. I said, who is Jeannie Buss? Okay. I had to keep asking Mott's. Like, I would pause and I go, he told me, he's like, yeah, this is like the Lakers. And I was like, oh, okay. By the way, that doesn't really help me that much. I do need you to explain. I was like, is this a real thing? Is this a real thing? Is this a real person? Whatever.
Yeah, she was the daughter of Jerry Buss that owned the Lakers, and now she is a controlling owner of the Lakers. And I was just like, why? This is my TikTok. I had so many interviews with her popping up, and I was just like, why is this happening? I do love the Lakers, but like I've never seen her do these long-form interviews. But then I was like, okay, like they're literally drawing parallels with the show. So yeah.
What do you think of Chet Hanks?
He's Chet Hanks. Like, that's who he is in the show and in real life. Z-Way's been reposting clips of him from her show, which, remember, we are going to see Z-Way in like a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. Send me that calendar again. Good call.
We're going to go see Z-Way on like a Tuesday, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then we'll record on Thursday, of course, like we always do. And then we go see Beyonce on Sunday.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's going to be a good couple weeks.
No, it's be really good. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, what do you think of the Jalen Hurts of the team hottie? The one who has the Jalen Hurts eyebrows.
I don't even remember who you're talking about.
What? That man, he literally stole Jalen Hurts' eyebrows and stuck them on his own face.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
What do you mean? Is he not in the first episode?
Maybe.
There's no way that Melissa, you could not have not noticed the eyebrows.
Well, here's the thing. I was listening to it, but also doing other work, so I wasn't really watching it. Okay. It was on.
Toby Sandyman.
Okay.
Sandeman.
Okay.
Do you see the eyebrows?
Yeah. I don't remember him.
Oh, okay. He's gorgeous.
Was he the one that she wanted to meet with? But
yes.
Then he had a okay.
So maybe he's actually not even in the first episode.
He was there because she, at the end of the episode, she's like, "You missed our meeting."
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really watching it. I was listening to it.
But he is also giving Jalen Hurts energy as the 27-year-old dad of the team, who's just like, I need you kids to get in line. Like he's no nonsense, not playing games, and is also like deeply respectful of women. And I was like, was this intentional, or is the eyebrows just like a lucky? Was that like, because and I was like, is it just reminding me of Jalen because of we've just come off the entire press tour of like the Eagles winning, or is it the eyebrows? But he's stunning. Like, he's so nice to look at, and I'm like, I love it. And I just have to say, bring back big eyebrows on TV. I love a big brow.
Yeah. It's very 90s, so let's get them back on. Get them back on, everybody.
Everyone. Mm-hmm. I just
not drawn on either.
No, I'm not talking about a dip brow.
Not when you look surprised all day. when you draw on your eyebrows and that makes your expression for the rest of the day.
I don't want your preconceived notions about how the day is going to go. No, I don't want you to draw
say that
it
as a
on.
bitch with thin ass eyebrows.
No, we're both saying this as people who desperately wish we had more.
Mine are thinner than yours. Yeah.
I think I've just got longer hairs. But the other thing is that, like,
that's what makes it thicker.
Oh, you're right. I think we have the same number of hairs. My hairs are just long.
Yes.
But yeah, I just I'm not talking about a bold brow. I'm talking about a big brow. Mm-hmm. Give me a big
like
browed
bitch. She has
yeah.
eyebrows,
Sandy Cohen from the OC, other people. Like, I just...
Eugene Levy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Like, I just love a big brow. So I'm enjoying that. It was a good show. I can't wait for them to bring it back. It's like a fun watch.
Yeah. So I'll watch more.
I also love a show that references LA in an accurate way, where they're like having to go places and they're like, where is that? And I was like, yeah, people on the West Side, they wouldn't know what that is.
Well,
they
I haven't gotten to that, but
I love that. It's like Barbie.
Yes.
When she's like, I can't wait to go to Century City where all magic things happen. And I'm like, love that. Fun. Thank you. It's just for us watching, but I'm like, huge fan. But I'm counting down the weeks until you watch Paradise.
Yeah. Give me a couple weeks. I did get into my application was accepted for this Sundance. It's like an audio immersive intensive class for storytelling, so doing scripted audio series.
Oh, nice.
Kendall had sent it to me and she's like, you could teach this. And I had already applied to be a student. I was like, I haven't actually written an audio, even though I've done all the components. I direct audiobooks. I've directed audio series. I write, but I haven't done it as like a whole thing from start to finish.
I love her unwavering faith in us.
I know. And I really appreciate it. And the thing is, if the task was given to me, I 100% can do it. But this is also sponsored by Audible. So I want like the professional of the professionals, to like give me their insight. Because there's always stuff to learn. Yeah.
Hell yeah. When does that start?
April. Oh. But it's only 3 days long. Like it's like a
3-day intensive?
Yeah. There's a couple hours on Friday and then all day Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
So
it's just you love adding things to your plate.
I do, and it always looks good. You know, I want to have a thick, robust resume, as I already do. But
yeah,
it's one thing to have
not slacking at all.
Credentials for
it's definitely not thin whatsoever. Yeah. But even her saying that does remind me though of you joining your writing accountability class. And I said, scratch that. You want to run?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Never get to be the participant, always forced to be the leader.
I know.
It's the cross you bury. Cross you bury?
Cross you carry? Bear? Cross you bear.
Bear. I was like, I don't know what the term is. Something about a cross. Something about a cross. The last thing I was going to say, do you know who is in Harrison Ford is in the Captain America? Yeah.
I knew that.
Okay. Okay. That's why I just think I just think that I just want to confirm to everybody who's saying that this is bad either has not seen it or it's just right because like, it has all of the makings to be your like a fucking fantastic one. You Harrison Ford? That's no, okay, for sure. They're like, no, it's just kind of a lazy one. I go, Harrison Ford. Yeah. Which, if anyone wants to have a good time, read his Wikipedia article about like his career and his life and how he got here, and it explains his attitude so much.
He's so nonchalant and doesn't give a fuck, but he also gives so much of a fuck. But it just comes off as
and he says, "Don't be a fucking loser." Like the way I would kill to see him and Jeremy Strong in a room. Like I want to see him and Brian Cox versus Jeremy Strong. They would
Christ.
Rip him to pieces. But like he literally like he's like so old school. He had like a picture deal. Like he like was like signed on from one of the studios, and they kept being like, he doesn't have that star quality. And they're like, and they'll ask him questions about it. He's like, man, I told him like you're a fucking like. Well, I think you have bad taste in movies. Like you're an idiot. And I was like, everybody was like, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. And he was a carpenter for a while because he was like, whatever. And I'm like, wait, I kind of love
so
you.
Hot.
Yes. Yes. We were talking about like hot guys or whatever. And Monster.
I thought you meant on our Patreon because we did spend a good chunk of time.
It was after the Patreon that I was telling Mott's about that. And I was like, I just think it's like, I need people to like stop dating ugly guys. I need like this ugly guy epidemic because like have you ever seen a hot incel? No. Like statistically thinking that they're going to treat you better is like crazy. And Match was like, but like who do you like? Who to you is the hottest? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like Michael B. Jordan. He goes, no, scratch that. Like, I just don't think that you like any like traditionally attractive white men. And I was like, and then I was like, well, no. And I literally was like, he's like listing all of mine, and he goes, weird looking dudes. And I was like, okay, well,
yeah, you're right. You don't have a Theo James in your list like I do.
So then he was like, well, then who is the most objectively attractive white guy? I go, I never said who I like is the most objectively attractive. And then I was like, the most objectively attractive white man is Theo James. And he was like, and you think all women can agree on this? And I was like, yeah. Yes. And I showed a picture, and he was like, okay. Because we were looking at young, either Robert, I think it was young Robert Redford. And I was like, no. And Mats was like, what are you talking? Like, he's no.
No.
Oh, and then he was
young
showing
Marlon Brando.
Yes.
Young.
Who's the one on the salad dressing?
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Paul Newman.
Yeah, young Paul Newman. You know who I never thought was hot, and you're gonna agree with me.
Okay.
But now that I'm older and and I know you know who this is because you watched a TV show he was in after like his prime, but he was considered hot in this show.
Okay.
And I've never found this man attractive.
Justification is crazy.
I did not at all find him attractive when I was watching this show, but now my brain is fully formed.
Okay.
I'm older. Burt Reynolds.
Okay, let me see. I do know, doesn't he have a strong brow? Or is that a mustache?
Yes, both.
And I like that. I thought you were gonna say, I was like, it's to me the Lenny Kravitz effect. For when I was younger.
Oh, I've always loved Lenny Kravitz.
Well, when I was younger, Lenny Kravitz has looked the same age forever. And so I was a kid and I was like, why would I love this? He's a fully grown man. But now that I'm a fully grown woman and he has stayed the same fully grown man, I said, no, I can get it. Because I just never thought older guys were attractive when I was younger. But now I've aged into being like, Lenny Kravitz can, get it. Oh, I could. I want to support you. What is it that you saw him in?
Let me.
Is it now? What year should I look up?
No. This was prime. Like, hold on.
You're already you've got more of the makings of me to agree with you than some of these other ones because Mats was being like, well, what about young George Clooney? And I was pulling it up and I looked at pictures and I said, there is no fucking way you're telling me that you think he was like, he's handsome. And he was like, if you take away, like current Brad Pitt, like young Brad Pitt. And he's like, who do you think is attractive out of all of these? And I was like, Rob Lowe, like that. And I know that wasn't an option, but like, that's like, I don't get these other ones. But I was like, young Harrison Ford was really cute. And he was like, yeah, young Harrison Ford looks goofy. You like goofy looking white guys. And I was like, I think that Theo James objectively, I can say is the hottest, like, but like, if we're talking about like personal taste of like who you think is fun and funny or whatever, I'm like, all of my celebrity crushes, personality is factored in. Sometimes it makes things better. And sometimes it makes them lower on my rank, like their vibe, like what I know them from or whatever. But I do think everybody could objectively agree that Theo James is like, because he's beautiful.
Someone made a thirst trap video of what I'm talking about, and that's the only reason why it crossed. And when I look up Burt Reynolds on TikTok, all I'm getting is like the SNL impression of him. I gotta find. I will follow up with you.
Burt Reynolds thirst trap. I wish we could search our own watch history.
I know
we can like scroll back, but it'd be so handy. It's okay.
All I'm getting are the ones that are like, there's just one scene that they're doing. And this was a combination of a lot of different things. And, but like, he looks like Pedro Pascal.
Well, that's the kind of vibe I was getting even from like some of these photos of him, which is why I can get it. Who, by the way, is in a new A20. I think it's A24, but
yes,
it's Celine Young.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I I stopped myself from watching the trailer because I was like, this is something that I will be into.
Yeah, we're going to love it. And you know me, I'm a Dakota Johnson defender till the day I die. It is crazy, though, that she's deciding between Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal. And one of them is rich, and one of them is poor. Sorry. And I'm like...
No, I already knew that.
Yeah.
I got that far.
And I'm like... I'm just... And we're struggling with this decision. Like, to me, I was just like... And this is where, like, personal taste and personality really factor in. But I will say, as someone who just went to the movie theater... Obviously, go support your movie theaters. But don't support a new movie that's coming out because I can't believe that they still made it. But there are posters of Jonathan Majors everywhere.
Yeah, it's literally everywhere.
I'm shocked.
Because the thing is that movie was supposed to come out
2022,
it was right when those allegations came out. So like the allegations stopped. It wasn't that far. The allegations stopped that movie from coming out. And so then I can't even say allegations. It's literally on tape.
Yeah, he admitted
fact. Yes. It was going to be like, you know, he had the Marvel movie. He had a movie with Michael B. And then this was it. And this was like his first like starring role. And they're like, this man is next up in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then everything happened and he got pulled. And now
with like, it feels like zero and it just popped up everywhere. I was saying, hey, we're dropping it. And it was like, whoa, hold up.
Oh, what? I heard about it months ago.
Oh, I didn't. Like, I just remember it being scrapped. Like, I remember it being scrapped. And then suddenly we were at the movie theater and there's like 4 posters. And I was like, fuck?
So Searchlight got the rights returned to the filmmakers and then they distributed it. So then they're releasing it. But you know, him and Megan Good got married 2 days ago.
Yeah, I just saw that.
And you know, he got his Coretta, I guess.
I'd forgotten about, obviously I never forgot about him, but every time he comes back up, I just am like visually bombarded with him and his little outfits and his little fucking hats.
Fucking Sherry Shepherd. She had him on her show and she's literally crying, talking about, you're such a great role model for my son. And I was just like, ma'am, what are you doing? And just a couple weeks ago, she was talking about how Megan Thee Stallion was not a good role model for girls.
Okay. It's sounding like we're getting to the quote unquote traditional family values, which is men are allowed to beat their partners and women need to not work.
Yeah.
And not like, which is great. Like, you have a talk show, like you work, like.
But it's all, she's like, we don't need people showing their bodies and twerking for women. And I'm like, Megan, role model. Like, she hasn't done anything to say that she's not a good role model at this point.
And also, like
this woman, like, while she was building up her rap career, she also got a degree. She still
went while she was fucking famous and didn't even abandon. Like, what?
What? Like, seriously, what? She, again, the body positivity, as far as we can see, like, honest and like hardworking and also
nerd,
very much like nerdy, but like still cool. And also like, she just like exudes positivity in all forms of life, like taking care of your mental health, all these good things. But then you're fucking crying over this man who is on tape admitting that he abused his girlfriend.
Yeah. That's so embarrassing. And also, like, I really get so fucking annoyed when people like shit on people like Meg or like any woman who is in the performance space who is not a nun. And I'm like, and they're like, it's just like, you know, it's a bad example. And I'm like, who do you think the audience is? Because Meg's audience, I would say a vast majority of Meg's audience is not people who are objectifying and sexual. Like, that's not like, she's doing that for her. And it's like, I love that. That is great. That's so fun. But like, it's not like, oh, Meg Thee Stallion, like, she is catering to the male gaze and I'm going to be like her because I want male attention. Like that has nothing to do with it. Like, this whole idea of like women showing any aspects of their body to a majority female audience is somehow continuing this cycle of like centering men. And I go, but no one centered the man but you. No one is centering this idea of like virtue and chastity but you, because like men aren't in this conversation. Like, the men that we're supposed to be has nothing to do with that. Huh?
To close out this episode, let's read some thoughts that people have had online on our Spotify. You can go to Spotify and leave specific reviews for specific episodes. Okay, so we've got a comment from Bay Area Iconic Songs. What's the title of the last episode? Area. Okay, it took me a second to get this, and now I got it because we were talking about, what is that religious thing, Baha'i? Mm-hmm. That's how you say it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And I don't care if that's disrespectful.
Someone said, since you drove by Baha'i, I'll see myself out. And that is from JRUSNAK.
Oh, that was good. That was like an intellect. Like, you made me think. I had to go back to my Hooked on Phonics. That was good. That was good.
And then Josie said, how could you not play Yikin?
You know this.
Yes, I know this.
Okay. I was like, they never even... That would have really thrown me for a fucking loop. Woo, okay.
And
crisis averted.
And then Rachel Franklin said, Megan, Denver is also a United hub. Make Mott switch to United.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I will, because that has been his... Well, I don't know what that was. That has been his only excuse. And I didn't know it was also United hub. Thank you. Someone did also message our Instagram and said that they were in San Diego, but they did grow up doing the Fizzle dance, but they knew it was, they were like, oh yeah, it's a Bay Area kind of thing. So shout out to San Diego. I gotta say, San Diego gives you whiplash, because sometimes San Diego does some really problematic stuff, and then I'm like, but you guys are also supporting the Fizzle dance, so thank you. And I think this is probably when San Diego got overrun by Bachelor contestants and people who like Laguna Beach isn't conservative enough for.
Cool.
And they say, gotta keep going farther down. Gotta get more conservative. And then also I'm gonna get real close to the border and I'm gonna get even more racist. And I go, that just seems so counterproductive. Very cool. But I love the good parts of San Diego. And by the good parts, I mean the people who are not,
Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Join us on Monday for But Am I Wrong? Tuesday for See You Next Tuesday. Wednesday, use that as your catch-up day. Thursday, Don't Blame Me. We'll be back here on Friday. Buy our merch. Today is the first day of spring. As we're recording this, it's yesterday. It's Thursday. Megan, I want to commend you for doing a lot of promo this week. Now we just got to get on the colors. I
started working on them. I should have sent them to you.
Yeah.
I have them.
Nicole requested a orange, and I said that is fall. And she's like
highlighter orange?
And then she was like, no, like more like a pastel-y orange. I was like, okay. I doubt they have that, but cool.
Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, our Patreon. We're trying to make that a one-stop place for all information. So there's a free tier. So join our Patreon, get on there. You will eventually see like the episodes will automatically show up there as well. You can also just automatically see right now. You can automatically see See You Next Tuesday and Fisting Friday are there. And I think that's all for announcements.
Yeah. Follow the Instagram. I've been trying to get back on it.
Mm-hmm. You're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've been fueled by all of the love and attention I've gotten in my comments from people asking to drink my pee. So, living my life like the queen I am. Wonderful.
Love it. All right. We will
fist you later. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Monts, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with Spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone. So we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.
What's up, fellow TV watchers? It's Brian from The Core Podcast, where we cover all things Apple TV+. We are wrapping up our recaps of Emmy favorite Severance, but 2025 on Apple TV Plus is just getting started. In April and May, The Core is recapping Seth Rogen's new Hollywood satire, The Studio, and Jon Hamm's dark comedy, Your Friends and Neighbors. We'll also be recapping the first 2 seasons of Apple's sci-fi thriller, Foundation, heading into the 3rd season of that later this year. Search for The Core, all things Apple TV Plus, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.